Get focused. Get focused. Yo, it's serious out here. Because the people who were gassed in Syria, I know you guys, I usually come to you with sports, but before I did sports, I talked about any and everything. And the president, let's just listen to some of, oh my God, it's bad, people. Remember when I was talking about the wars between the Jews and the Christians and the Jewish? I mean, that is, the Jewish are still in control, the seven banking families. And they are warmongers. They're Russian as Kazakhs. They're the people who control the media. The Jewish control our music. This is why you don't hear a lot of positive music anymore around black people. It's all bi this and hate this and murder, kill that. This is why the movie industry is ran by all the Jewish people, the four Coppolas and Scorsese's. That's not an accident. And they also run our government. This is why the electoral college needs to be banded, because a small group of people chose the president. The president did not get chosen by the masses of the people. He lost by 3 million people. Nonetheless, okay, so that's just some backstory. So let's listen to some of Donald Trump's reaction to this nerve gas bombing in Syria by Assad.
On Tuesday, Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad launched a horrible chemical weapons attack on innocent civilians. Using a deadly nerve agent, Assad choked out the lives of helpless men, women, and children.
His own people.
It was a slow and brutal death for so many. Even beautiful babies were cruelly murdered in this very barbaric attack.
Okay, so there's that. I want to play the whole thing because he's talking like a robot. Here's his reaction.
There is breaking news now on Fox News Channel. I'm Shepard Smith in New York. Fox News has now confirmed the United
Fox
States
News.
military has launched dozens of Tomahawk missiles on sites in Syria. We got word this afternoon that the President of the United States was considering military action, that senior White House officials had met late last night and into this morning, that the Joint Chiefs of Staff had come together today. Tonight, the President is at Mar-a-Lago in Florida with the Chinese leader Xi Jinping, and while he was there and they were seated at the dinner table, the United States launched strikes on Syria. The effort here to knock out his ability to carry out the sort of airstrikes and sarin gas bomb that our military says struck on the Syrian people just days ago. Jennifer Griffin with the breaking news now live at the Pentagon. Jennifer?
Well, Shepard, we've just learned that the U.S. has launched Tomahawk missiles at two separate air bases inside Syria. We understand that both of those locations were used to store chemical weapons. At least one of them, we have the name of one of them, Shariad. Shariad is the name of one of the bases. We understand that 43 Tomahawk missiles were launched from the USS Porter and USS Ross, both of which are in the Eastern Mediterranean. It is our expectation that it will be mostly a Tomahawk missile strike tonight. The order was given from President Trump, who, of course, is at Mar-a-Lago tonight meeting with the Chinese president. He was briefed by his Defense Secretary, Jim Mattis, as well as the National Security Advisor, H.R. McMaster, about the military plans for Syria. We also understand that the Joint Chiefs met in the tank late this afternoon to discuss these war plans. So as we know now, within the last few minutes, Tomahawk missiles, about approximately 43, have been fired at least one base inside Syria. Shepard?
It has begun again. These warmongers just will not rest. Listen, you guys who are subscribers know that I'm a veteran. And I was in right before the Gulf War happened. right before Desert Storm. As a matter of fact, I tried to go, and but I was ETS, meaning I left the service uh, right when they declared war. Uh, my my unit couldn't leave, but my friend's unit left, and I tried to go and get um, with his captain. I saw him, and I was like, "Take me with you." He said, "I can't out process you fast enough," and within 2 weeks, boom, they were gone. But I was still in the service, and that's when 44 Sig, the tank unit, rolled out. I was in Fort Riley, Kansas, and that's the third largest fort that we have, and they, the whole base just emptied pretty much, except the MP unit, and I worked for the MP unit, so I couldn't go anywhere. I was a 94B, which is a cook, and I worked for the jail. Jails don't go nowhere. Prisoners are prisoners are prisoners. Nonetheless, I watched this type of thing play out 25 some odd years ago. The same damn thing. Matter of fact, 30 years ago. I was 19. So I'm 50 now. So it's the I watched this same thing play out over and over and over again. Every single damn war is based on lies. When Bush was talking about there were WMDs, there were no weapons of mass destruction there. And what they do, they went after Hussein and over there, and because they said he invaded the neighboring country over oil, and he had weapons of mass destruction. Then they went over there, we went over there, and we took the oil, and we beat those guys down with Blackhawks and our tanks. But nonetheless, it wasn't even a fight because they were starving, and it just didn't add up. Why would they want to pick a fight knowing that the U.S. was going to come over there and beat the hell out of them, kill a bunch of them, when their troops couldn't even sustain their own self? They were starving. You had more troops, they were just giving up. They didn't want nothing to do with the fight. It was not even a battle. Okay? It was just all based on lies. Look, nobody in their right mind. It's just like somebody who has never been in an MMA ring, go in there with the champion of MMA, somebody who's twice their size, twice their weight, and beats up people for a living, and this, whoever dude just jumps in and says, "I'm gonna kick your butt." Yeah, it's possible, but the likelihood is not gonna happen. And then then the MMA guy just smashes the hell out of him, just like everybody thought, because that's what he does for a living. Okay, that's what we do. America polices the whole world. They go around and get in the skirmishes that has nothing to do with America. Doesn't put America first. It doesn't make America freaking great. And we go around and just, we went into Africa and just tore apart the who did we just kill? Gaddafi? We just went over there and killed who was our ally. Saddam Hussein at one point was our ally. Them dudes hiding in the mountains of Kabul were our ally. The freaking, who they say blew up the dang towers. And that guy, I forgot what his name was, but Bin Laden. Bin Laden was made by us. The CIA took weapons over there and gave them to Bin Laden to fight against the people over there in the mountains of Kabul. Now all of a sudden Bin Laden is our enemy, and Bin Laden blows up the towers. It's like, come on, people. The Bin Ladens are Americans. That just bumps your whole head. Bin Laden's grandchildren are architects. They live here in America. When all that went down, the Bin Laden family was picked up by military people and taken out of the country. Now, what sense does that make? And you can check my facts if you want to. The Bin Ladens are architects. That's how they make their money. They're not a bunch of poor people living in the damn mountains. It just doesn't make sense that people who are our allies are all of a sudden become our enemies, and then these small skirmishes that happen in places that has nothing to do with us, we want to go over there and we want to fight against them. These people over here are our allies now, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in that fight. It's just like we are the big dog on the planet. The big dog just doesn't just go and jump into every fight. That just makes no sense whatsoever. Every little thing we just gotta go and just boom, to show. No, it's all bad, people. You're putting America last. Donald Trump, you're being lied to. Listen to what this veteran has to say.
A former war veteran, 2 times in Iraq, and we went to Iraq based on lies.
Based on
And
lies.
I'm making this video because you're being fucking lied to.
Excuse
so
the
I
language.
voted for you, my whole family voted for you. We all busted our asses to
I didn't
destroy the
vote for
fake
you.
media news, and now you're falling for it. You actually believe Assad gassed his own people. That's what you fucking believe, Mr. President?
Excuse the
You
language.
really think that? This guy is the support of his whole country, and you think he gassed his own people. What strategic reason would he do that for?
The hell
Wouldn't
of it.
that just make all of his people turn to ISIS and the rebels that our administrations before you funded? You know you have special interest groups within your administration. You have these rat neocons and these lobbies who are putting America last. You know that, right? You know these people want war with Syria and Iran and all these other countries because they want to expand their territories. You should know that, Mr. President. So if you fall for this, you will be the dumbest fucking president in U.S. history. And I'm being very harsh with you because you have to listen. Syria has nothing to do with this country whatsoever. You want to put American first? Putting people over there and fighting Syrians and killing innocent people will not do anything for this country at all. Now, who do you think actually used the chemical weapons? The Syrian army, who is kicking the shit out of ISIS, or the desperate rebels and terrorists and ISIS people that were funded by administrations before yours, who got sarin nerve gas that they didn't have before? Matt?
Okay, this man makes a great point. Also a two-time, he's a war veteran. I'm a peacetime veteran, but nonetheless, we ran during the same time. And he's talking about how ISIS came up. Look, there's a whole documentary on how ISIS came up. ISIS didn't just all of a sudden get all of these weapons out of nowhere. ISIS got, listen, if you ever seen the first movie of Iron Man, they take some of that information on how Stark got, how they got a bunch of Stark stuff and start killing people and run. You know what I'm saying? It was made by our government. The same thing happened with ISIS. ISIS got a lot of their equipment, actually mostly all of their equipment, by us. We left jeeps, we left ammunition, we left the keys, we left tanks, we left all that stuff over there just so ISIS can build up steam. And we started this crap with ISIS. We're the ones who did that. Okay, people? Like I said, these people are warmongers. The Russian Caucasians, which are the Jewish people, not the Jews, they're the ones who started this garbage. This is what they do. Look, there's billions and billions and trillions of dollars to be made when it comes to war. Blood money is what it is. And that's all that's happening right now. And they're after your blood. It's exactly what they're after. These wars are a bunch of lies. We've been at war for, the last 400 some years. Just lies upon lies upon lies, and there's a small group of people telling the same lies. Fake news, go to war. We're big and bad, let's go to war. All the time, let's go to war. Fake this, fake that, let's go to war. Listen, I'm listening to what he has to say last, but then I'm going to give my last comments, but I'm telling you, these people, this is what they do. It's the same pattern, and it happens about every 10 to 15 years, there's a war. Then we need another war. Then we need another war. But here's the biggest problem. You're talking about going to war with the bear. And I don't know if any of you really get into the Bible and start looking at what the Bible says about the eagle and the bear. But we are the eagle and they're the bear. We don't want nothing to do with the bear. And we've already been selling wolf tickets to them. We've already told them that we were going to beat them down. And they've already told us, if you come anywhere near Syria and Aleppo and all this, that where they're gonna, they're gonna react, they're gonna consider an act of war because they have Russian soldiers there. And it has already begun. This is not what we want. The Bible also talks about a nuclear strike. Okay? All right, I'm going to finish listening to him first.
Magically got it from somebody who rape, kill, behead women and children, slaughter men, eat their hearts on video. Have you seen that video, Mr. President, where the fucking rebel takes out the guy's heart and eats it because they're fanatic fucks? There are no moderate rebels. They're all terrorists and jihadists. And if you think the Syrian army would gas their own people, but not these psychopath mercenaries from all over the world who are getting paid to take out Assad, then you're a fucking retard, Mr.
Excuse
President.
the language. Excuse the language.
So don't make me disappointed. Don't disappoint my family and every veteran out there who voted for you. We don't want any fucking wars. We don't want anything but make our country great again. And going to war and costing more lives isn't going to make anyone great again,
exactly
especially if we go to Syria and then Russia wants to blow us the fuck up. Be smart, get rid of the rats in your administration, and let's keep our country
safe. Okay, be smart, get rid of the rats, and let's keep our country safe. So, the eagle and the bear. Now, I talk about this when I talked about when I go into the Bible and I talk about the Jews and the Romans and, all the wars and so on and so forth. A lot of it is being controlled by the Jewish people. And the Jewish people are mentioned in the Bible. All through the Bible. Look at the book of Romans. They're in there. These people live by what's called the Talmud. And I talked about the Talmud. It's 33 books of basically babble. Just talking. Just men philosophizing. And then people taking these philosophies, writing them down, and then people living by them. It's not the holy word of God. In the Talmud, they totally dismember Jesus. They say he's burning in hell right now. These people know nothing but war. They made look, it's so deep. It's so deep. And we're so entrenched in their bullcrap. But they're the ones who control the money. And where you find the money at, that's where you find the major problems. These are the same people who crashed our banks during the Bush administration. They're the same people, and they did it through AIG. Listen, there's a problem here. This is the same thing that's going to happen over and over and over again until what the Bible says there's going to be a nuclear strike. And they said it's going to all burn up in fire. They said the skin is going to melt off of your bones. And there's only one thing that does that. It's a nuclear strike. And that's where we're headed. Once the eagle and the bear go at it, there's going to be no turning back. I'm telling you, people, we got to, we got to pray that this president, who asked 3 times during one meeting, do we have nuclear weapons, doesn't get a chance to use those weapons, because he will. He will blow up this whole freaking world that we live on and think nothing of it. He will not give one damn about blowing up this world. Not one. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. For the people, ordinary people like me, my neighbors, I ain't calling my neighbors ordinary. I'm just saying we just people. You know what I'm saying? We're not pulling any strings. We get caught up in this nonsense. Our children get caught up into this nonsense. The military presence all of a sudden back in 2005 on the football field, everybody standing up and pledging allegiance. Now it's a sin to sit down. I mean, that's not an accident. That's because they want you to join the military so they can throw more bodies at these stupid ass wars that they create. It's all, listen, I'm going to use a word from the Joker, R.I.P. Heath Ledger. It's all in the plan. It's your boy Tone 202. Pray. Pray. Please pray.